would have ever thought at 19 I'd take it that far? My life is like a movie without the caption. That mean even in the next scene, I swear to God, you never know what happened. I started rapping, man, before I could talk, and I was running on beats before I knew how to walk. So the next
Yo, what's up? You see it right here, baby. RJ Barrett. He's going to turn it around today. 4 steals last game. Everybody's pissed off at RJ Barrett because he only had 4 points. He'll be fine. He's only 22. I'm going to talk a little bit more RJ Barrett later. The Mets, man. New York Mets, baby. 11-6. Big win against the Dodgers last night. Offense was going absolutely off. We were down multiple times. They showed fight. Great game by them. David Peterson got absolutely shelled, but he was able to get through it. That was nice to see. Gerrit Cole, going to be talking about Gerrit Cole too, because Gerrit Cole looks like an absolute stud right now. He is the best pitcher in baseball right now. Undoubtedly the best pitcher in baseball. But then when you flip to the Mets too, I forgot to mention the Mets. This man, Pete Alonso, the best hitter in baseball right now. Leading the league in home runs. On pace for over 80 home runs right now. Am I saying he's going to get 80? No. We'll talk about that. Maybe he can get Judge's record. So, talk about that. Number on the screen, 424-432-3565. Give me a call in a little bit if you want to talk some sports with me. Yeah, you see that number 1 on the list? Knicks versus Cavs. Yo, what's up, Bori? How we doing, bud? Let's talk some Mets, baby. But first, we're going to talk a little bit of Knicks since they're the big topic tonight, 7:30, Game 2 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell went absolutely off, but the Cleveland Cavaliers still couldn't get it done. Josh Hart out with an injury tonight, ankle, doubtful. So that's obviously not a good sign for the New York Knicks. A lot of fans are worried because Josh Hart did provide a lot. He provided a huge jolt off the bench last game, gave us 17 points, 10 rebounds. He hit that clutch 3 to take the lead after the Cleveland Cavaliers took the lead away from us. Because that game was good. That game was good. So I'm excited for Game 2. Obviously, Emmanuel Quickly, RJ Barrett, and Quentin Grimes too. Even though Grimes played well towards the end of the stretch, he had those clutch free throws. He played very good defense down the stretch too. So, listen, I'm not worried at all. Really at all, because like I just mentioned before, we didn't have our 3 young studs do anything that game. And Julius Randle only scored 19 points. And Jalen Brunson, 27 points. I'm not saying that's not a lot, but is it a lot for Jalen Brunson? No, not lately. Guy's been averaging 24 a game. He's been averaging over 28 a night since January 1st. So I'm not worried about this Knicks team tonight just because there's no Josh Hart. We still have Mitchell Robinson, who is even Jared Allen said it himself. He might be the best offensive rebounder in all of basketball. He's that good. And you remember, you could take it back to a few weeks ago when Mitchell Robinson was so upset because he didn't know where he really fit on this Knicks team. And Knicks fans were like, nah, Mitch, dude, you're good. And he even said it. He said, just because I don't like the situation I'm in, it still doesn't mean that I'm not going to go out there and give 110%. And Mitchell Robinson in Game 1, he was given not just 110%, he was given 1,000%. He was all over the board, sprinting to the corner of the court to grab an offensive rebound. He was lights out. And defensively on Jared Allen, Jared Allen popped off offensively, but still holding Jared Allen to under 20. Jared Allen's one of the best offensive centers in the game. And Mitch, obviously, offensive rebound-wise, he's one of the best centers in the game too. But still, locking up Jared Allen is hard. And then, we got his backup, Isaiah Hartenstein. Shout out Mike, always listening to the pod. He was bringing up, he loves Hartenstein. He messaged me the other night Hartenstein had a great game, making great passes. And he's right. I was like, I guess he wanted Hartenstein a little bit more. I wanted Mitch a little bit more. But at the end of the day, the 2 centers that the Knicks have right now are providing so much. It's what the Knicks wanted 2 years ago when they went out there and they had Nerlens Noel and Mitchell Robinson. And Mitchell Robinson, we saw 2 years ago in that Hawks series, he didn't play. He was hurt. So you just see how valuable Mitchell Robinson actually is. And that's huge. Because he is huge, literally and figuratively. So I want to see Mitchell Robinson have another great game tonight because I think his offensive rebounding is going to be the key factor. Because if you take away Mitchell Robinson that last game, we don't win that game. The amount of second opportunities, the amount of second chances that Mitchell Robinson was able to create saved the Knicks. Yeah, Jalen Brunson had 27. Julius Randle had 10 boards and 19 points. Josh Hart had 17. But in reality, none of that happens without Mitchell Robinson being all over the boards. All over the boards. And same thing, when Hartenstein comes in, it's not a drop back. It's just a little bit of a switch. Now we got a center who can see the court a little bit better. I love when Hartenstein comes up to that center, like the center of the paint, and he sees the whole court, obviously, because he's taller than almost everybody on the court. But you got to give credit. A center being able to pass like that is huge. And then obviously no Josh Hart tonight. So that's going to affect the Knicks a little bit. But Emmanuel Quickley sucked in game 1. And I have a hard time seeing Emmanuel Quickley suck again, because Emmanuel Quickley doesn't suck. I've never seen Emmanuel Quickley. Honestly, I don't think I've seen Emmanuel Quickley have 2 bad games in a row since he's been a rookie. Emmanuel Quickley cleaned up his game completely. And even you saw him make an impact even when he wasn't there offensively, and that's a credit to Tibbs too. Even RJ Barrett, he had 4 steals the other night. So yeah, offensively he wasn't great. And same thing with Grimes. Those 3 guys, they need to take it up. They need to score more, because Obi, he did his job. He was really the only young buck that was really doing his job. I'm going to call Mitch a young buck too. So Mitch, 2 young bucks doing their jobs. But it really is essential that those 3 guys, not as much as Grimes. Grimes, I really want, yes, Grimes 3 and D. He's one of our best 3-point shooters, but I don't expect Grimes to go off for 10 to like 15 plus points. It'd be nice. It'd be a huge jolt, but I really expect RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley. They have to provide buckets. RJ, yes, defensively, he still has to stay there. Same thing with Quickley, same thing with Grimes, because those guys, when they have bad offensive nights, luckily they're all great at defense. RJ, when he wants to play defense, he's one of the best defenders in the league. Undoubtedly. It's not a hot take. We saw RJ Barrett. When RJ Barrett wants to play defense, he is one of the best defenders in the league. And that's a credit to Tibbs. And that's why I'm going to give credit to Tibbs right now, because when you look at this team, when I saw this team come out, you saw Julius Randle being unselfish with the basketball, which is something that Knicks fans have always been dying for. You saw RJ Barrett, even though he was struggling offensively, he still had 4 steals. He was still giving it all on the defensive end. He was still there. And we saw it in the regular season. Sometimes he would be pouting back on offense pouting back on defense just because he missed a shot or something. So RJ Barrett misses a shot. He still puts his head down and he gets right back on defense. That's what I love to see. And that's a credit to Tibbs. Tibbs also being able to control, Mitchell Robinson, he was basically wanted out of New York. And now look at him. Tibbs calling him the best offensive rebounder in the game, and he's right. He's right. And Josh Hart providing 10 boards. I know he's not here. That's really gonna hurt. But I'm not too worried, because like I said, if Quickley, Grimes, and Barrett, if 2 out of 3 of them can just provide what they've provided us all year, this Knicks team will be fine. I really do think this team is going to win the series in less than 6 games. I think 6 at most is what the Knicks need. Because, yeah, Donovan Mitchell might be the best player on the court. And that's another thing. I'm going to bring this up before I do get into that. A lot of people were saying, the Knicks could have had Donovan Mitchell and they would have been finals contenders. Well, no, that's wrong. Because if we get Donovan Mitchell, then we don't have Obi Toppin, we don't have Josh Hart, because we used the picks that we would have gave up for Donovan Mitchell to get Josh Hart, that 1 pick that we only gave up compared to 6. So we wouldn't have Josh Hart. We wouldn't have Obi Toppin. We wouldn't have it's not just RJ Barrett and Quentin Grimes, one. And Quentin Grimes can still have room to grow. And RJ Barrett's only 22 years old. We saw Julius Randle he got his first All-NBA season when it was in his 7th year at the age of 26. So I'm not worried about RJ Barrett in year 4 at the age of 22. I'm just not. So the Donovan Mitchell, we didn't get Donovan Mitchell. Shut up. Shut up. I'm sick of hearing it, because you want to know why? Donovan Mitchell just dropped 38 points and they still lost to the team that should have traded for him. Remember Donovan Mitchell? Stephen A. Smith. Donovan Mitchell adds 10 plus wins for the New York Knicks. Well, Jalen Brunson had 10 plus wins. We were 37 win team last year. This year we're a 47 win team. And now a huge difference between 2 years ago in the playoffs and now in the playoffs. Guys that we drafted are making the impact. It's not a Taj Gibson or Nerlens Noel who are asking to provide us energy, or Reggie Bullock or Elfrid Payton. Yeah, Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle we brought in here, but they're really Knicks. I'm not going to call them homegrown Knicks, but that's their home. And then other than that, Mitch, we drafted, 2nd contract, well-deserved, all over the boards, like I just said before. RJ Barrett, 4 steals the other night, defensively still making an impact, which is huge. Shout out Tibbs. Quickly. We're going to see Quickley have a game this series. Same thing with Grimes. And you look at the bench, too. Obi Toppin, Josh Hart, I know we brought him in, and Isaiah Hartenstein, we brought him in, but predominantly, these are guys the Knicks drafted. really outside of 4 guys in the rotation, the next 5 guys were all drafted. So shout out Leon Rose too. I know a lot of people like to knock him, but that was the best thing to not trade for Donovan Mitchell. He was a genius. Because if we gave up the farm, we wouldn't be in this situation. We wouldn't have had a Josh Hart to provide 17 points and 10 boards. We wouldn't have had Obi Toppin give us that energy and the when he's in the garden throwing down those dunks. It's gonna be insane and it's gonna be fucking awesome. But yeah, that's the difference between trading for Donovan Mitchell and giving up the whole entire team basically. Or, you know what? We got Jalen Brunson. We got Julius Randle. We don't necessarily have a number 3 or a number 1, even though Jalen Brunson is a number 1, in my opinion. So we don't necessarily have a number 3 or a big 3. Yeah. But we have a big 2, and our big 3, I mean, it's a new guy every night taking that third scoring spot. 2 nights ago, it was Josh Hart. Maybe today it's Emmanuel Quickly, or maybe today it's RJ Barrett or Quentin Grimes, or hell, maybe it's even Obi Toppin, because I expect we'll see a lot more of Obi tonight. And plus, Miles McBride, who I'm assuming it's going to be Miles McBride taking Josh Hart's not all his minutes. I think maybe McBride takes a little bit of Quickly's minutes from last game, and then Quickly takes Josh Hart's minutes, because I think Quickly's going to be the guy to take Josh Hart's spot today. But you're telling me, all right, we don't have Josh Hart, so instead of Josh Hart getting 30 minutes a night, it's going to be the 6th man of the year getting 30 minutes a night, and Miles McBride, who all Knicks fans know, he plays hard-nosed basketball, especially on defense. He will be in your face. Even though he's small and he might not have the build type for an NBA-ready play, like an NBA player right now, he's still going to give you 110% and be in your face. And Donovan Mitchell ain't that big either. So I'm not going to say McBride's going to lock up in probably the 10 to 15 minutes he plays tonight, but I'm excited to see this Knicks. And now with Giannis hurt and the Heat, they have Tyler Hero hurt. So if we do move on and we potentially face a hurt Bucks team or a hurt Heat team, then those Eastern Conference Finals dreams are starting to feel realistic, especially like a win like the other night when it literally took the Cleveland Cavaliers another historic – shut up, Tyson. Yo, my dog is just bugging out right now. He wants the Cavs to win. But nah, yeah, straight up, all right, hold on. I got to calm this dog down. Sorry, my dog's annoying. But yeah, you're making me lose my train of thought now. Nah, Donovan Mitchell, I just don't think if we traded for him, we wouldn't be in the position we are in now. Like I said, we don't have the guys that provided so much. Yeah, it took him 38 points, but if we had Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell and Julius Randle, one of them goes off for 35 plus points and we still lose the game? I mean, Donovan Mitchell went off. He went off every time. It was automatic in the second half for Donovan Mitchell. He was automatic. I was talking about it with my buddy Marcus at work. Jalen Brunson, yeah, he scores a lot and he makes a lot of buckets, a lot of clutch buckets. But when Donovan Mitchell makes his buckets, the difference between those two is Donovan Mitchell makes it look so easy. So easy. But like I just said, Cavs were the one who gave up, not their whole team, obviously. They gave up a few picks. They gave up Colin Sexton, who's an all-right player, was an all-right player at one point in his career. But if the Knicks gave up Obi Toppin, they gave up all those picks. They gave up RJ Barrett. They gave up Quentin Grimes. They gave up Mitchell Robinson, who was also supposed to be in that trade. So those 4 players, plus one of the picks that we used to get Josh Hart. So we would have had those 5 players, not with the Knicks, if we had Donovan Mitchell. I don't see that version of the Knicks beating the Cavs. If you had Donovan Mitchell on the Knicks, that Donovan Mitchell type version team on the Knicks, I just don't think it's a better team. So I'm happy we stayed away from Donovan Mitchell. And I think it's starting to show now. And we're kind of right in that shift. And we're shutting Jalen Rose up. We're shutting Stephen A. Smith up. We're shutting all the Knicks doubters, all the Knicks haters up. But yes, Knicks, game 2 tonight. I'm pumped. You should be too. Because it's literally, I won't be surprised if we get a sweep. I won't. I just think you saw Julius Randle bullying Evan Mobley. Julius Randle only had 19 points. Oh, Josh Hart's not playing. Well, Emmanuel Quickly didn't go off, and Emmanuel Quickly is going to go off one of these games. Quentin Grimes and RJ Barrett, all three of them not there offensively. They'll be able to make it up tonight. So I expect the Knicks to walk away with another win. Listen, it'd be nice if we can go into home 2-0 on Friday night, taking a 2-0 series lead to the Garden on Friday night. The Garden would be absolutely rocking. It would be rocking. But I'm going to flip-flop. Quick little Mets. A little bit of Mets. Brett Baty made his season debut last night, and it was awesome. He had that line drive RBI single right over the first baseman's head. Yeah, I mean, he scorched that ball, and you saw it all last year. I mean, his first at-bat in Major League history, he hit that home run. So, like Brett Baty, you always knew the potential is there. You always knew that the potential is here, and now that he's here, now that he's showing what he can provide to this offense, and it's crazy because it's so – the Mets put up 8 runs. I'm going to switch my camera again because this one's lagging. The Mets put up 8 runs when we get production out of our third base spot. Oh, wow. I mean, Nito hitting 125 is not pretty. So maybe, like, at this point, I'm willing. Like, I know I'm not a Francisco Alvarez. I don't love him. I personally don't think he's ready to be an MLB player. I still think it's okay for, I mean, we saw it. Like, catchers take time to get ready. So, but at this point, with Nito hitting the way he hasn't, look, I'm sick of it. Like, I don't see Francisco Alvarez hitting 125. I just don't. And I'm taking calls whenever, man, whenever. Phones are open. Phones are open. But yeah, what do you guys think? Because at this point, I don't think the Mets are, like, with Francisco Alvarez, is he gonna hit 4 home runs a game like he did in AAA basically almost every night, it seemed like? No. Is he gonna strike out here and there and have some at bats where Mets fans are like, what is wrong with this kid? The sky is falling. We don't, like, he's not what he is. Yeah, he's 21. He's 21. He's a catcher. So it does take time. So, and like I said, I'd be willing to fail with Alvarez and see what he can do. Because I don't think, yes, I know Buck's trying to protect him right now. Buck is seriously trying to protect him. But I'm getting a call right now. But I think it's Bori. Let me get him on the line. Yo. Bori, is this you? Oh, I gotta put you on speaker. Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yep.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I got you.
Well, what's up? Just talking a little bit of Alvarez. I was basically just saying, like I'm not. I love Buck, but the one question I do have for Buck is, like, I just don't want to see Nito hitting 125. Like, yeah, Francisco Alvarez, me personally, I don't think he's all there yet, but I'm willing to fail with Alvarez. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. My thing is, like, if Nito was bringing elite defense to the table, maybe it's a different story. But Nito hasn't looked great behind the plate either. So if you eliminate that, what does he do better than Alvarez? Nothing.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm confused. It's because you look at this Mets team, and now that we have a third baseman, hopefully that is going to provide us a lift. We lose that 100 hitter. We only have 100 hitter left. Like, do we think that Francisco Alvarez, like, yeah, he might have those weird at bats where he strikes out on balls above his head, but I just don't see him doing that for so long. I feel like eventually it'll happen. He'll turn it on, and especially, like, I was, I love Buck, but I'm just like, I know Buck doesn't want to put him in a position to fail because he doesn't want to kill his confidence. But I'm also on the mindset of, if Francisco Alvarez is that number one prospect that we think he is, I don't think failing should kill his confidence. I think he'll still be a confident player, even if he does strike out a lot.
I don't think confidence is going to be his issue at all. I think he's always been a slow starter at every level. I think if you give him consistent at bats, he's going to improve. I think it's just really hard for him to get going when he's playing once every few games. Like, that's not going to work for him. He's got to get the at-bat to get himself going.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. He needs the at-bats. He needs to get the experience. And like what's the worst that can happen? A 125 batting average? I mean, we're already seeing that with Nito. But, boy, I want to ask you one more thing. Pete Alonso, 8 home runs. We were talking about it in the chat a little bit. Do we think it's possible? I know it's so early on to tell, but what do you think so far of Pete Alonso just mashing literally a home run almost every other day, it feels like?
Yeah, I mean, you saying it's possible he gets Judge's record?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's got that kind of power. It's so early. My thing is, like, if he stays healthy, I think he can hit 60 for sure. Like, I don't see why not. Dude's, like, on a tear. He seems like he's even hitting the ball the other way, which is, like, that's huge for him. Like, it's going to be hard to get him out if he's doing that. And, yeah, 60 is definitely on the radar, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so. And like you look at his rookie season, I think he had 53 home runs too. So that's another big thing, another big area for him. I think he could definitely get that 50 plus. But I was actually listening to Pete Hoffman of Rico, and he brought up a good point though, that he doesn't have as much protection as Judge in the lineup. So that's another thing. But yeah, what do you overall though? Thoughts on the Mets right now before I do let you go? What are your thoughts on this Mets team now that they're 11-6? Got the big win against the Dodgers. You think we need more pitching? You think we need another bat, or you think we're all set?
From the beginning of the year, I've always thought everybody was concerned about the hitting. I thought that the hitting's going to work itself out, in my opinion, especially if we start giving the kids a chance to play. My concern is the pitching. But at the same time, I'm encouraged because our pitching hasn't really been that good, and we're still winning. So when we get Verlander back, if Senga starts getting in a groove, if Scherzer starts getting going, like, and all those things happen, then this team can be dangerous, man.
Yeah, I agree too. And you saw last night McNeil finally getting going. That's a huge sign too. But yeah, thanks, Bory, for calling. Always love talking to you. And yeah, man, anything you want to say before I do let you go, though?
No, man, I appreciate you. Love the show. I guess I'll be talking to your dude. What's his name? Gerrit?
What's up?
Hitting me up later.
Wait, say that again. Sorry, I lost you.
Oh, my bad. I guess I forget what his name is. The Gerrit?
Oh, Gerrit from the Mets way?
Yeah, he said he was hitting me up to, like, interview me or some shit. So
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we gotta. Did he hit you up yet?
Yeah, he hit me up. So I guess I'll be doing that tonight at some point.
That's gonna be exciting. I'm gonna love to see that. Yeah, Jared's gonna be doing a little bit of Mets way interviews, trying to see more about like Mets fans, and we really just want to interact with a lot of fans, and we really appreciate you hopping on and doing it, man. It's gonna be fun. Just kind of getting like fans' overall experience in their lifetime of just being a Mets fan. So it's gonna be pretty cool. You can check that out at the Mets way. Probably be up probably tomorrow. So yeah, thanks, Bory, for collabing with us too there. And yeah, if you want to check out his content, you can check it out. He's got a YouTube page, he's got a Twitter page right there, Amish Country Mets fan. I'll actually pop it up real quick. There we go, right there. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. He's always got good stuff. So yeah, thanks, Bory. Thanks for hopping on, man.
I appreciate you, man.
Thanks, man. All right, man. You guys know, subscribe to Bory's channel because he's literally, when I tell you Mets fans are awesome, Mets fans are awesome to the point where he's in like Amish country and he's got all these pigs all over and stuff, and he's still giving his Mets takes. It's something different. It's something unique. And if like literally Mets fans takes, in my opinion, are better than like the SNY Mets fans takes. I love Sal Licata, but other than that, I mean, who likes listening to Andy Martino talk about the Mets? I don't think anybody. So Amish Country Mets, you subscribe to his channel, and I'm telling you, won't be disappointed. But yeah, let's keep going with these Mets. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on them, just because I do got to head out of here soon, and I do want to talk about some Yankees and Rangers a little bit, dabble some football. But Mets, man, I just think 11-6, there's not too much to harp on them now because they are 11-6. Like Bory said, this pitching, it's a great sign how the pitching hasn't been great, but we've still been winning games. That's a great sign. And once Verlander comes back, like he said, and Senga, once he gets going, this team, I think, is really going to elevate. And you saw the offense. Like I said, we shouldn't be worried about Jeff McNeil. He popped off last night for 3 base knocks. Brandon Nimmo, he's off to a crazy start, proving that he deserved that contract. Pete Alonso, it kind of seems like he's a little bit pissed off about being overshadowed by Aaron Judge and the Yankees overshadowing the Mets sometimes. It looks like Pete Alonso is taking that personally this year. And also, he's trying to get paid too. Like, that's another thing. I think he's trying to get paid. So it's not really a contract year. I was talking about a couple pods before. It's not a contract year for Pete, but he's still trying to get paid. He saw those other guys get paid. So I'm not going to say he's going to hit 63 bombs, but I think 50's on the table. And I won't be surprised if towards the end of the year, it is a push for Pete Alonso breaking that record. But yeah, let's flip the script to the New York Yankees across town to the Bronx. Gerrit Cole, complete game shutout the other night. He's ridiculous. He's got a .95 ERA, 4-0, undefeated throughout his first 4 starts. And it's not just 4 wins. These are 4 dominant starts. You saw him with 11 Ks on opening day. You saw him last night, 3 nights ago or 2 nights ago. Get that complete game shutout, 8 Ks. He has been the Gerrit Cole that I think Yankees fans have been waiting for. Yes, Gerrit Cole has pitched he hasn't really pitched like an ace, He's pitched he's been a great pitcher. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Gerrit Cole has been a great pitcher. And he's had his moments in the playoffs last year where he did pitch like the ace. And now it's transitioning over, looks like, into this season. Because we see that ace. And that's what I think what's exciting for Yankees fans. Because you're finally seeing what you've always wanted out of Gerrit Cole. Which is this. You saw him when he was with the Houston Astros. He was a Cy Young candidate. He finished second in Cy Young right behind Justin Verlander, who still hasn't pitched for New York. But Gerrit Cole, man, when you look at this Yankees rotation with Sevy coming back and you Nestor Cortez, I know Brito got roughed up, but he still had 2 very good starts to begin the year. And Clark Schmidt, I mean, yeah, the Yankees could use another rotation piece 100%, but when you look at it, Rodon will be back too soon, hopefully. I'm just really excited to see what Gerrit Cole can do this whole entire year. And I mean, offensively, the Yankees are not a problem. Anthony Rizzo is probably having the best year of his career since he was with the Cubs. He's hitting .313. He's proven that the shift ban is huge for him. He's got 4 home runs. Same thing with Judge. I mean, Judge is just being Aaron Judge. Stanton, before he went down with the injury, I mean, Stanton was popping off. He had 4 home runs too, and he was hitting .260, which is good for Stanton. That's good for Stanton, which is sad, but it's good for Stanton. Former MVP hitting .260. That's good for him. Jeez. But this Yankees lineup I talked about before, DJ LeMahieu to provide, if he can stay healthy all year long, I think this Yankees team, even with the way that the Tampa Bay Rays have been playing, I still think the Yankees have the best team in the AL East. I think that they're a 100-win team if Rizzo is hitting like he is now all year long. Because Aaron Judge, it felt like at times he was carrying that Yankees team. If Aaron Judge didn't hit a home run in the second half, it felt like the Yankees were going to lose the game. But now, it's not just Aaron Judge. You got to worry about Anthony Rizzo. When Stanton comes back and he's healthy, you still got to worry about Stanton. DJ LeMahieu, that spot, that jolt he provides in that leadoff spot. Well, now Anthony Volpe. It's huge. It's huge. And even with a little bit of lingering issues and lingering injuries here and there for the Yanks that have been popping up, they're getting through it. They're getting through it. And like I said, when you have Aaron Judge on your team, anything's possible. So, but I think more and more you're really excited about this Yankees team now because they have their ace. Nestor Cortez was their ace last year. Nestor Cortez. He was a better pitcher than Gerrit Cole. And if Gerrit Cole can be Gerrit Cole, then you have 2 aces. 2 aces. And I know Gerrit Cole is an ace, but he hasn't pitched like an ace. He just pitched like a great pitcher. He's been pitching like a great pitcher. Now he's pitching like an ace. And I think that's going to be huge for this Yankees team going forward because last year they didn't have this version of Gerrit Cole. This is the best version of Gerrit Cole that we've ever seen. I think this is definitely the best start that Gerrit Cole has gotten off to, and I won't be surprised if he continues it. Because we saw last year what he did in the postseason. It looks like he's just more and more comfortable with pitching in New York, and maybe it was just that. I mean, we saw Lindor have a little bit of an issue adjusting to New York when he first came here. Same thing with Edwin Diaz. We see it all the time. Sometimes guys need a little bit of adjust, and Cole was putting up good numbers when he was adjusting. And now that he is adjusted, this guy's a Cy Young candidate. Again, we knew that he was a Cy Young candidate. I mean, he was a Cy Young candidate 2 years ago with the Yanks, and now same thing again. Last year, I mean, he had above a 3-year ERA. Like I said, that's not ace-level pitching. That's just great pitching. But now, he's the ace again. But yeah, let's flip-flop from there. We're going to be talking a little bit of Jets. Not too much Jets, though. Actually, let's talk about some Rangers-Devils. I have that up on the screen. So let me talk about these Rangers-Devils game tonight. Rangers are playing the Devils. I'm not sure if everybody here is hockey fans, but you know, I'm an Islanders fan, but I'm not going to be talking about the Islanders until Thursday with my guy Bobby. He's going to be popping on. But Rangers play the Devils tonight at 7 o'clock in New Jersey because somehow the Devils were able to have a better season than the New York Rangers, even with all the moves that the New York Rangers have made in the past, 3 years, including this year with getting Patrick Kane. But I expect the Rangers to blow the doors off the Devils. I know the Devils are great, but let's be real, guys. A Rangers at Devils, I don't think New York Rangers fans are going to have a hard time getting to New Jersey. So it's going to be basically a home game for the Rangers. Right now, they're not favored. The Devils are favored, and obviously the Devils are home, and they're the better team. But like I said, New York Rangers fans will be in the building. It will be loud. It will be a Rangers home game, not a Devils home game. It's not too far. So I think this is also a huge plus for the Rangers. Plus, do they have the better goalie? Maybe. I don't know. This year, I mean, Igor has been better, I'd say, throughout his career. But this year, I think Vitek is definitely has the edge over him. But when I just have a hard time seeing this version of the Rangers losing. I mean, they were 5-2-3 in their last 10, which isn't great. But, I mean, it's not terrible. And we saw them go on stretches where they looked like one of the best teams in hockey after they got Patrick Kane. So I'm excited. I'm excited for tonight. I think it's going to be high energy. It's going to be a rivalry. It's going to be awesome. And like I said, I think the Rangers are going to pull this off. I'm not sure in how many games. Probably I'd say 6. Rangers in 6. Knicks in 6. Rangers in 6. Those are my 2 picks for. And then the Islanders, man. I mean, like I said, I'm going to talk about the Islanders more on Thursday. But that 2-1 loss against the Hurricanes was tough. It was tough. You really thought the Isles had it there for a little bit. It sucks. It sucks seeing the Astros lose. But listen, man, the Rangers, I think they're just gonna. I wouldn't be surprised if they blow the doors off the Devils, even though the Devils have been so good this year. They've been so good this year. But it's a home game for the Rangers. It's a home game. Panarin's gonna be. I think Panarin is gonna be. I mean, and then Patrick Kane playing his first playoff hockey as a Ranger. That's huge. So they got experience in the playoffs. Obviously the Devils, they've just started popping off really this year. I mean, last year, towards the end of last year, they started popping off a little bit, but being like one of the best teams in hockey this year is kind of new to them. So I think the experience factor helps the Rangers, being obviously the Devils aren't a number 1 market type team and it's so close to the Rangers home. So, Rangers fans will be there. It's going to be a home game. I'm excited to see Patrick Kane in his first playoff hockey with the Rangers. So yeah, let's see if let's see what the Rangers can do, man. Because I'm not a Rangers fan, but I'm still pulling for him. Because I want to see. I don't want to see a New Jersey team win. 1, because I hate Jersey. And 2, the Rangers, the Garden, man. I want to see the Garden rocking. New York is better when the Rangers are good. Just like New York is better when the Mets and Yankees are good. When New York sports teams are good, New York is better. So hopefully the Rangers can win tonight because I do not want to see the New Jersey Devils be the local team moving on far in the NHL because I don't have any confidence in the Islanders, especially after last night's loss. I mean, last night they fought hard and it was a winnable game, yeah, but I just don't have high expectations for the Islanders and I don't have high expectations for the Devils. My high expectations are for the New York Rangers, especially with the roster moves they made this year. So let's see the Rangers. They got to get it done. They have to. They have to win this series. Because Panarin's not getting any younger. Patrick Kane obviously isn't getting any younger. Zibanejad isn't getting any younger. Igor's not getting any younger. These guys aren't getting any younger, except, the kid line isn't even getting any younger. The kid line is barely the kid line anymore. So this Rangers team is like, they're in a position to win now. Even though they're not favorited over the Devils, they should win this series with ease. With ease. Even the way that they've been playing this year. So, and like Igor, he might not have better stats. Actually, he does have better stats. So Igor is the better goalie. So Igor is the better goalie. They got a better goalie. They got a better team. They got a better coach. And they have the better fans. So let's go Rangers tonight. Jets. Still no Aaron Rodgers. Still no Aaron Rodgers, which sucks. It sucks. Because I'm starting to get worried with the draft next week. And what if it doesn't happen? What if it doesn't happen? What if the Jets don't strike a deal by draft night or on draft night? Then I think that's really when it gets concerned. Because we saw Joe Douglas go on stage with Boomer Esiason and say, oh, when's Aaron going to be here? He'll be here. Joe, stop hyping us up. Stop teasing us. Stop tickling our balls. And deliver. Get us Aaron Rodgers. Who cares? If it's Craig Carton saying that it's going to take 2 seconds or first, who cares? I want Aaron Rodgers. I don't give a shit if we have to give him first. I really don't. Because it's Super Bowl or bust. I don't care about the first round draft pick from this year if we're shooting for the stars. We're shooting for the stars. You got to be all in. Get Aaron Rodgers here ASAP. ASAP. Because I don't want training camp to start and Aaron Rodgers not being there. Because I want to see him throw. I know he's throwing with Alan Lazard, but he's allowed to. I want to see him throw Gerrit Wilson, a guy who had 1,100 yards with Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco, and Mike White throwing him the ball. That's who I like, and that's another thing. I'm excited for Gerrit Wilson with Aaron Rodgers. Because like I said before, 1,100 yards with those three guys as his quarterback, that's something. Let me put myself back in. Yeah, that's really, really good. That camera sucks today. I don't know why. But Gerrit Wilson is going to take a huge step forward if Aaron Rodgers is here. I'm going to start saying if. I've been saying when. I remember 2 months ago on my podcast, I was saying Aaron Rodgers will be a Jet by this time next week, and it's been over a month since I've made that statement. I'm getting worried. I am getting worried. I'm not going to lie. I don't want Zach Wilson to end up being our QB1 next year. Because if there is one team, there's one team where a Hall of Fame level quarterback says, I want to play for you guys. And then we make all these moves to fit Aaron Rodgers. If there's one team that would say, we're getting him, and that guy says, you're getting me, there's one team that would fail, it would be the New York Jets. It wouldn't be the Mets, wouldn't even be the Knicks, wouldn't even be the Brooklyn Nets, wouldn't be the New York Giants, the Islanders, the Rangers. No, it'd be the worst team in all of New York sports, basically for the last decade, the New York Jets. The Jets haven't earned anything. And I'm a Jets fan saying that. It's honestly tiring waiting for Aaron Rodgers. And it's not even Rodgers' fault. Usually, it's Aaron Rodgers causing a bunch of bullshit. Now it's Joe Douglas and the Packers GM. Is Joe Douglas going on stage saying he'll be here? Is that affecting the trade? Is Joe Douglas's cockiness affecting Mark Murphy of giving us Aaron Rodgers? Because if I'm Mark Murphy and Aaron Rodgers is basically shitting on me and Joe Douglas is basically being a cocky son of a bitch, I'm going to be a stubborn little bitch. That's what I would do if I was Mark Murphy. I would be a stubborn little asshole, and I would say, you're not getting Aaron Rodgers unless, A, you give me a first-round pick, and that's it. I'll let him sit on my bench. I don't care. I have Jordan Love as my quarterback next year. I don't care if we go to the playoffs or not. I'll have Aaron Rodgers sit. He'll probably retire. Make it that's what I would say if I was Mark Murphy. Honestly, I don't care. I don't care. You either give me a first or give me 2 seconds, or you're not getting him. And that's what I think is going on. And I think Joe Douglas is trying to be cocky. And I think at the end of the day, if this trade just becomes like 2 seconds or a first rounder, then I think every Jets fan should just be like, what the hell is wrong with you, Joe Douglas? Like, you did this to yourself. He's driving up the price by saying he'll be here. Because now Mark Murphy can use the fan. He can use that little fan thing. Use that as leverage. The fan leverage. Hey, your fans want you to have this guy. And I'm not giving you him. I'm not giving you him unless you give me those 2 first. But Gerrit Wilson will be a top 5 wide receiver, though, if we get Aaron Rodgers. And here's why. Like I said before, probably the 3 worst quarterbacks in the NFL last year. Joe Flacco, Zach Wilson. Mike White wasn't one of the worst, but Mike White, 5th-round draft pick, journeyman quarterback. So those 3 guys, as his quarterback, Gerrit Wilson still puts up 1,100 yards as a rookie. Now, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, those 2, you see A.J. Brown, too, emerging. Like, these guys are like the top dogs in the NFL. And they're putting up ridiculous numbers. Actually, A.J. Brown had just over 1,100 yards, which is what Gerrit Wilson had with terrible quarterback play. So I'd imagine Jalen Hurts with Gerrit Wilson. But yeah, imagine Joe Burrow with Gerrit Wilson. Imagine Kirk Cousins with Gerrit Wilson. Is he putting up the same numbers that Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase are putting up? I can't say no yet. I can't. Because he put up over 1,100 yards with 3 terrible quarterbacks in Mike White, Joe Flacco, and Zach Wilson. If you could put up 1,100 yards with that, imagine what he can do with a 4-time MVP throwing him the football. Just imagine. Because I'm pumped for it. We need to get Aaron Rodgers. And it is Super Bowl or bust. Any Jets fan who says, oh, well, if we get the AFC Championship or if we just make the playoffs, I'll be happy. Listen, raise your expectations. Raise them. Because here's why. You don't go after Aaron Rodgers and not be a Super Bowl or bust team. Aaron Rodgers wants that next ring. He wants that second ring. The Jets obviously are dying not just to get that ring, but just to get to the playoffs. But when you have Allen Lazard, you have Gerrit Wilson, you have McCole Hardman now, a 2-time Super Bowl champ. You have Breece Hall coming back, who was the leading rusher when he was senior in college. You have Michael Carter coming back. You have Elijah Vera Tucker, who will be healthy. Mekhi Becton, who will hopefully be healthy. The Jets are going all in. And the top 5 defense, C.J. Mosley will be back. We got DJ Reed, Sauce Gardner, Jordan Whitehead. Hopefully he can step it up with Rodgers coming in. Maybe he doesn't want to be the guy that sucks anymore. Carl Lawson, retaining Quincy Williams. Obviously, Quentin Williams, an all-pro defensive lineman. The defense is there. The offense is there. It's there. Everything's there. So I don't think any Jets fan going into next season is worried about the roster. The one thing that is worrying Jets fan, that would worry a Jets fan, I think, is the coaching. Because I don't think anybody's worried about the numbers that are going to be put up. So what are we going to do? Is Rob Saleh the right guy for the job? Because listen, I love Saleh. I'm a huge Saleh guy. But I'll admit it. Like there's a couple problems here and there with him. I mean, you see the timeout management was last year at sometimes. It's like he was playing Madden, just trying to keep those 3 timeouts in his back pocket at all times. It's literally like he's playing Madden. So that's an area he needs to improve on. I think sometimes he can be a little bit too much of a player's coach. Like you see Brian Daboll getting on the sideline, ripping Daniel Jones apart, and then Daniel Jones has a career year. Zach Wilson throwing screen passes at Braxton Berrios' feet. And he's going on the sideline, and Mike LaFleur and Rob Saleh, hey, you'll get him next time, buddy. Don't worry. Take this iPad. Doesn't talk to them. Doesn't do anything. Not involved on the offense. And I'm not saying he needs to be so involved in the offense. But I mean, you're the head coach. You're not a defensive coordinator anymore, dude. You got to do both. It feels like, listen, I just want to know if Saleh is the guy to get the job done. Because if the Jets miss out on the playoffs this year with Rodgers, Saleh's done. Then he's not a head coach. And I don't think he'll get another head coaching job for a long time. He's just a DC. I mean, right now, I just view him as a DC. He's just a really good defensive coach. Because I think it was just right when we got Zach Wilson, I think it was fail. It was fail. You brought in a rookie head coach, a rookie offensive coordinator, and a rookie quarterback. Figure it out. And then you don't even bring in a backup quarterback, a veteran backup quarterback. It was stupid. It was a fail from the start. So they're really like Rob Saleh and Joe Douglas. They're getting Aaron Rodgers for one reason and one reason only, to save their jobs. Because they know they need to make the playoffs if they want to come back. But I hope Rob Saleh knows just the playoffs, I don't think it guarantees his job back. Because like I said, this team it's a Super Bowl mandate. It's not a playoff mandate. It's a Super Bowl mandate. They better be in the AFC Championship game. They better be. You have a top 5 defense. You have the offensive rookie of the year in Gerrit Wilson. You have Aaron Rodgers. The GM, Joe Douglas, has made all these moves to help Aaron Rodgers. McCall Hardman. Alan Lazard. We got potentially in on Zeke. He was trying to get OBJ. We're doing everything to make this team a Super Bowl caliber team. Not just a playoff caliber team, a Super Bowl caliber team. Super Bowl bust. I don't think we should expect anything less over the next 2 years than 2 AFC Championship appearances. Why not? I mean, we saw Matthew Stafford. He went to a new team. He won a Super Bowl. Tom Brady went to a new team. He won a Super Bowl. Peyton Manning went to a new team. He won a Super Bowl. So we've seen veteran quarterbacks towards the end of the year go to a new team and find that new energy, that new life. And it works. So hopefully the Jets can have that same little result with Aaron Rodgers. Now I'm going to be talking a little bit of Giants. A little bit of Giants for my last 13 minutes on, and then I got to head out to work. Let's pop it up. New York Giants draft rumors. Not going to spend too much time on it. Trenton Simpson, I was talking about a while and how I wanted the Giants to go after Trenton Simpson, the linebacker out of Clemson, but I've changed my idea on who I want the Giants to draft. I have it right here in my notes why I want the Giants to draft this guy, because he's an absolute stud. 2 guys I want the Giants to target in the draft. 2 guys who the Giants have actually met with. One of them is Marvin Mims, Oklahoma wide receiver. He was one of the best wide receivers in the nation last year in college football. He had 1,083 yards, which obviously isn't a lot, but it was a top 20 in receiving yards last year. He was actually 19th. But what I was really excited about Marvin Mims was the playmaking ability, his yards after catch, his ability to make plays. That's like if Daniel Jones can get him the ball, let's say Marvin Mims is on the Giants, Daniel Jones gets him the ball, anything can happen after that catch. Anything. That's how good this guy is in the open field. He's quick. He was 3rd in yards per catch last year. He had over 20 yards per catch last year. 20. That was good for 3rd in the nation. And then my other guy, I'm not going to spend too much time on him like I didn't spend too much time on Marvin Mims, but Jalen Hyatt, wide receiver out of Tennessee. He was a beast last year. He was 2nd in touchdowns with 15 receiving touchdowns, 5th in total yards, 1,267 yards. This guy was a beast. He has both of these guys, I think, Marvin Mims and Jalen Hyatt, who the Giants have met with, both could be wide receiver 1s. And then this Giants team, you get a wide receiver 1. That's why I want the Giants to draft a wide receiver 1 with this 25th pick. You find a wide receiver 1 with that 25th pick, this Giants offense takes huge step. Because Daniel Jones, I know it doesn't have weapons. Well, 3 out of 4 years, he has had a top 5 running back in Saquon Barkley. So Saquon Barkley, if he can replicate even a shell of last year, then he's a top 5 running back. And then Isaiah Hodgson, Wan'Dale Robinson, hopefully they can be a number 2, number 3. Darren Waller, he had 2 back-to-back 1,100-yard receiving seasons with the were they Oakland at that time? I'm not sure. But Darren Waller had back-to-back 1K yard seasons with the Raiders. Obviously got hurt the last 2 years. But if he can stay healthy, he's a 1,000-yard tight end. That's huge. And then you bring in an actual wide receiver 1. And then you have Isaiah Hodgson and Wan'Dale, who are good 2s and 3s. You have a top 5 running back, and Andrew Thomas led offensive line. This Giants offense if they get a wide receiver 1 with that 25th pick in the draft or wherever in the draft, the Giants get a wide receiver 1, they have a top 5 offense in the NFC. They do. Because I know Daniel Jones only threw 15 touchdowns last year, but he also did with no weapons. I'll give him that. But now you're giving him Darren Waller, obviously Saquon Barkley coming back, but they still need to figure out some things with that contract. And then you bring in that wide receiver 1, Isaiah Hodgson. Holy shit, it's so windy outside right now. It feels like a tree's going to come through my house. Oh my God. Might be some good content. I might get a tree through my house during the live. That would be pretty cool. No, it wouldn't. Well, maybe for the YouTube video, but not for my house. All right. But anyways, enough about the win. More about the Giants. Daniel Jones, I think, can take that huge leap forward if you get him a wide receiver 1. Obviously, like I said before, I love Darren Waller. I love the Andrew Thomas-led offensive line that did take major steps last year. And I just love this team, especially defensively, too. I love Xavier McKinney. He provides a huge jolt. They were 7-2 with him on the field, and they lost every single game that he didn't play last year. Every game that Xavier McKinney didn't play last year, they lost. That's how much it was a difference when he wasn't on the field. Wink Martindale really brought the best out of those guys. And then, obviously, Kayvon Thibodeau, hopefully he can take a second-year leap. And then you also got Dexter Lawrence, who proved that he's a top 5 defensive lineman in football. So even this, and then you added Bobby Okereke, who I forgot about just now. Bobby Okereke, the linebacker from Indianapolis. He's a beast. He's a top 10 linebacker. So yeah, nobody's really talking about the New York Giants, obviously, right now because, the Mets are the Mets, the Yankees are the Yankees, and the Knicks are in the playoffs, the Rangers are in the playoffs, and the Jets trying to get Aaron Rodgers. So it feels like the Giants are like a little bit like, they're down here right now in topics, which, understandably so, especially when everybody's making that noise. But quietly, the Giants, they're building a top 5 NFC team, maybe. I won't be surprised if they, especially I've talked about it before on recent pods, if you want to check them out. I've talked about it before. The guys for the Eagles have lost. Coach and end players. CJ, GJ, they lost. They also lost Miles Sanders, a huge running back. That was Jalen Hurts' right-hand man. And then the Giants obviously retaining Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, retaining Mike Kafka, retaining Wink Martindale, not losing the coaches. That's another huge plus. I just think with the guys that the Eagles have lost, I think this Giants team, with the players that they've gained, I think we might be surprised on what this Giants team can accomplish next year. And if they don't make the playoffs, by the way, next year, though, just like the Jets, if they don't make the playoffs, then I think you can kiss Daniel Jones goodbye. But Daniel Jones, it's a make it or break it year for Daniel Jones because he needs to have a big year. He's got the contract now. He's got the weapons. He's got another year of Brian Daboll. So that's another thing, though. Daniel Jones does need to have a year because there's no more excuses, no more weapons. He doesn't have weapons. No, you have weapons now. You have one of the best tight ends in football when he's healthy in Darren Waller. You've always had Saquon Barkley. Your offensive line is starting to shape up, especially with Andrew Thomas now leading the pack. Obviously, you have Isaiah Hodgson and Wan'Dale Robinson, who could possibly be a number 2 and a number 3 target. You get that number 1 target. Then Daniel Jones has no excuses to not have a 4,000-yard passing season and more than 15 touchdowns. Way more than 15 touchdowns, I hope. So Daniel Jones, it's a make it or break it year. Last year, obviously, was a make it or break it year for him, and he made it. But now it's even a bigger one because if he fails, if he has a horrible year and he stinks and the Giants miss out on the playoffs, then we're going right back to saying the same thing about Daniel Jones than we did 2 years ago. He's not the guy. He's not the guy. Because all he did last year was really survive. That's what Daniel Jones did. Last year, he survived. This year, Jones needs to do more than survive. He needs to make it. He needs to make it to the playoffs. He needs to get another playoff win. And don't get wiped out by the Eagles. Don't. Because every Giants fan will tell you the same thing. The Giants won a playoff game. Daniel Jones won a playoff game. He's better than this quarterback. He's better than that quarterback because he won a playoff game. Well, I want to ask Giants fans, and this is where I'm going to leave it at. If you put any other quarterback, let's say you put Mike White with the Giants last year, you put, let's say, Baker Mayfield or Gardner Minshew or let's say like Andy Dalton with the Giants, with Brian Daboll, get the best out of them? So is Daniel Jones a product of Brian Daboll, or is Daniel Jones a product of Daniel Jones? And in 2023, we will find that out, because there's no more excuses for Daniel Jones. No more. No more always dealt with coaching changes, because every quarterback deals with coaching changes. Trevor Lawrence had Urban Meyer going to strip clubs, and then he got Doug Marrone, he got ran out of the Eagle. He got ran out of Philadelphia, and everybody was calling Doug Marrone washed. Trevor Lawrence dealt with coaching changes pretty well. Also, Pat Mahomes has had multiple coordinators too. Not multiple coordinators. I mean, Eric Bieniemy has been there for a long, long time, but like there's been coaches in and out of the building in Kansas City. So like I know offensive coordinators, like, yeah, you want to stick with the same, but we can't deny the fact that other quarterbacks deal with this. Justin Herbert deals with coaching changes. I mean, like, I'm just sick of like the excuses for Daniel Jones. I'm just sick of the excuses. That's all I think I'm really trying to get at. So Giants, hopefully they can find that number one wide receiver, because if they do, in my opinion, they'll be a hard out in the playoffs at least, and I think they can fight with the Eagles for the division. But yeah, that's it for today. Going to be talking some Islanders hockey this Thursday with my guy Bonesy. Going to get the Rangers spot on. And yeah, check out on the Mets way. We're going to be running up the Mets way this week. Got a lot of content coming at you from the Mets way. Jared's going to be interviewing Bory, which is going to be awesome. I'm actually really excited to see what they can make tonight. So Jared Levison, you can check him out on Twitter. Also check out Bory's account too. I'm not sure what his actual account off the top of my head is, but his account, I'll put it up right here for his fan account, not his personal account. I know his fan account. I have it up right here in the comments. I can pop it up. So pop that up right there. Subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to the Mets way to see Jared's interview with him tonight. And yeah, let's go. Let's get another Mets win tonight over the Dodgers. Let's get another Knicks win. Let's go into the Garden 2-0. And let's get a Rangers win tonight, because I don't think anybody wants to see the New Jersey Devils be the local hockey team representing the tri-state area going forward in the playoffs. Because if there's one team that's going to beat the Bruins, from the East, it's not the Devils. It's the Rangers. The Rangers have the best shot, in my opinion, at getting over the Bruins, which is clearly the best team in all of hockey, undoubtedly. There's one team that can beat them. It's the Rangers, because they got dogs. But that's it. Good show today. Thank you, Bory, for hopping on with me for the call. Yeah, make sure hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. If you're watching on Twitter, retweet. I really appreciate that too. Yeah, thank you for joining. And I'm out of here. Let's go Mets. Let's go Knicks. Let's go Rangers tonight, baby. And yeah, let's go Yankees too. Even though I'm not a Yankees fan, still support them. Let's see them do well. Deuces.
Time and you can't call it like this. And if I'm calling it quits, I'ma be balling my fist. Just left them all with your bitch and took her to justice. Cause if she acting like a kid, then she gon' need to fit. And I ain't just throwing one, yeah, but she's throwing one. Only at the strip club is when I'm throwing ones. Like a